We are live. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. All of you new subscribers, my goodness, we're at 200. Holy cow. Thank you all so much for clicking that button and following me along on my epic struggle bus journey to playing guitar. Today is day 27 of 365 days of guitar practice. It's a late one tonight. Man, it's almost like 9:30 plus here in California. Long day work. And if you are brand new, I'm Jay Wills. Old dude getting back into guitar playing after 22 years. Wow. Yeah, lots of subscribers. It's crazy. So thank you all for joining along. We got to get to a few things. I am just racing in from work. No joke. I was like, there is no way in hell that staircase is getting done today, and I'm not going back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to Guitar Center. So staircase done, we're playing. All right, so, rush tonight. Welcome, everyone. All right, so, not warmed up either, but we're going to make it happen. That's why we're here. The struggle is real. All right, so, but all of you returning subscribers, you know what's up. Intro song. All right, so, got my nifty pedestal. This thing's super handy. Don't want to scratch the fucking guitar. Ugh. All right. Fire up this intro. We're gonna go. You know what? I wanted to go Katana tonight. You know what? We're gonna go Orange Dark Terror for intro, and then we're gonna go Boss Katana for. I want to get some effects. It's Friday. We're at 200 subs. Something to celebrate. I don't have any beer or anything. I was just racing home. It's just a late night today. But I seriously wanted to finish that new project in house. Customers happy. He's all super stoked, and which makes me super stoked too. So, all right, Tay. Come on, girl. Warm up. Oh, it's hot. So that my amp's clean. I was doing my stuff clean this morning for that early subscriber or comment. I don't know if he's subscribed or not. But I've been practicing clean. I also have a challenge for all of you new beginning guitarists that I put myself through this morning. Kind of brutal, but it's gonna pay off. But first, yeah, it's game time. Let's get you there. All right, Tay. Ooh, it's gonna be a little rough. All right, let's see if we can do this. Ooh, let's start that over. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. A little rough start on that one. Arms are fried. I smell like boiled linseed oil. It's a good thing that camera doesn't zoom in because I am shedding sawdust. It's kind of creepy. All right, so first things first, if you're new and you're still listening, I go through all the comments, got a lot of comments. Busy time today at work. Oof. Didn't have a chance to really review anything, so it's going to be live and as live as it gets. Fuck, where's my glasses? Here we go. That struggle's real too. Ugh. All right, hey. So, what do we got here tonight, this evening? Hey, Kirstein's 8223. Welcome back, brother. Yo, brother, again is sick as hell like your personality. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I get to be myself. You know, I can don't have to be all professional in front of the customers. All that shit. But what I mean is the gain on your pedal, when you're using a pedal like the TS9 Rat Pack, you turn the gain all the way down and drive and use the volume and the tone. You'll get it, buddy. Your intro song is coming along good. I dig it. Cool. Thanks, brother. Curtis Shane. Yes, me again. Ha! I love all the comments, brother. This is awesome and amazing. Yes, me again. Amps take care of the gain, the pedal boost, the volume, and the gain of the amp. Hopefully that makes sense. Yes, it does. I've been fiddling with that, and I realized that you really, I'm all about like more is better. So I'm like, okay, crank the gain on the pedal, crank the gain on the amp, more gain. At some point, it just fuzz. So I'm like, well, no worries. But brother, I'm having fun cruising along with you. Awesome, man. That's awesome. I that makes me smile. That's awesome stuff. At Kurt James 8223. Easy way to remember the strings looking at the top down. Eddie 8 Dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. You know what? I learned that in the book, forgot it, and then learned it again. So thank you for the reminder. At Nicky Rock. Hey, welcome back, brother. You'll have to remember like that. Hell, I couldn't forget the name of the 6 or 7 in my case of Miss Jackson. If I wanted to forget, at some point you just know the names. Like when you learn to ride a bike, from then on you just know. But it's a good idea to do something until it clicks. For sure. And I just, honestly, there's just been so much going on in the normal part of my life. And then also this just so much information. My brain's just been melting every day. But I love it. I absolutely love it. At DJ CYR3NT. At 2724. Hey, someone's watching pretty deep into the videos and tolerating their ears bleeding. Jay, everyone has problems with those chords. It's not your hands. Oh, that's good to know. I was getting those like, man, this morning was a struggle bus. The strings are really close together in a smaller space. It will take a lot of practice to master playing those open chords and experimenting with hand position. Ain't that the truth? See if having your thumb in the middle of the back of the neck helps, and if you use the tips of your fingers with your fingers as straight as you can. If not, substitute a 7th chord instead. Should be easier. I'm starting to... The 7th chord is the one that's moved down, kind of like in a power chord position. I remember seeing that in the guitar chord book. Yeah, the whole finger thing, I know other guys that have big hands, I'm sure. It's just like... But I did find something, if you notice in the intro song, although that intro was rough. I am not warmed up. And I was sawing and building a staircase today. My arms are still just pumped. Ugh. And then I had to load the truck, which was like 1,000 pounds of shit. Because I had to pack the entire shop for this job today. Anyway, so I found out that if I kind of angle a little bit and like roll my finger over to the side, it's a little bit better. So, but struggle is real. At Gerardo Rodriguez 9446, been here since day 11. Love seeing this. Awesome, dude. That's amazing, dude. Thank you for hanging out and letting me torture your ears. Similar start with me. I played briefly as a teen, but also playing drums and violin growing up for a few years, but mostly stopped playing anything for about 10 years until my 30s when I picked up the guitar. I'm 4 years into my guitar journey and loving it. Damn, dude, that's awesome. I bet you can shred like a demon. The chords, fingering, all that will come with time. I'm mostly a metal player. Oh, that's badass. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel or anything. Post some vids. I'll link that shit up. Let's see here. I'm mostly a metal player on electric, but I did start taking some classical guitar lessons about 2 years ago, and I found that dramatically improved my fretting hand. I have a classical playing position, if that counts. You need to try to place your fingers perpendicular to the fretboard for those chords and cleaner playing. Also, you don't need to press very hard and try to place the fingers as close as you can to the frets. Yeah, the pressing hard thing I realized was like an epiphany this week where I'm using way too much pressure. Way too much pressure. I mean, it's not way too much pressure. It's just that it's unnecessary to get the guitar to make noise. So, definitely. You need, let's see here. I have large hands too, but hand size doesn't matter. You just need to make sure you're not muting other strings with your fingers. Yeah, I have dead strings a lot. That's no joke. You might want to consider a guitar with a wider nut width too. Wider nuts, sorry. I had to. It's Friday, folks. Fenders tend to be pretty narrow overall. It takes time, but you'll get there. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Well, I'm making a trip to Guitar Center because I don't have to go back to the job site this weekend. Back to that house until Monday. So, yeah, I'm going to figure out. And it's funny. I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, well, do they make guitars with like wider fretboards and shit? I don't know. We'll see. I'm so new to guitars, it's ridiculous. Like, other than like 2 guitars. I had a Les Paul, my PV back here, which we're probably going to jam on tonight a little bit because I'm just kind of in the mood. Oh, you may have also noticed, got a kind of a hair at my ass. There's a couple more guitars hanging that come out of the cases. So, at Rock RXO, welcome back, brother. Not to cramp your gear acquisition syndrome. Hell, I have it hard, ain't gonna lie. But you should look into a tremolo. No. I think they sell them at Guitar Center even. It lets you temporarily disable your Floyd Rose by wedging it until you decide you want to trem again. Also, it was incredible watching the sunset through the video. Not sure if you even... I didn't notice. I did not notice. Yeah, I'm doing a major remodel on my house, which is why there's an open, like, why is there studs and shit right here? Well, I'm a contractor. I do remodeling, and I'm remodeling my house. Just got done with the nasty divorce. Anywho, and so we're doing a major remodel. And so I got an open wall. I'm going to put a bar here. I'm going to cut this wall open, basically. This whole wall is going to get completely revamped. That window is going to be out. It's going to be a big bay window. It's a whole bunch of shit's going to change behind me. So there's going to be some crazy, all kinds of crazy shit. Because this is going to happen. I'm not going to wait a year. I'm going to keep doing it. Anywho, and that'll even probably make the sunset even better. So, in my awesome backyard, I'm a big-time gardener and landscaper. I have a badass backyard. Not to brag, but I have it looks like Jurassic Park back there. It's pretty badass. Let's see. All right, and continuing on. Let's see here. Got some replies to other ones. I'm going to go through them too. At Chewy4541, that intro song just keeps getting better. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Tonight was a little rough. Ooh, no warm-up, just rusty. I know, but did you notice that I practiced chords this morning? I was kind of sneaking in a little A chord in there, just a little bit. I know you said you're going to try not to buy a guitar this weekend. Yeah. Honestly, that's not going to happen. I'm totally going to buy a guitar. But I actually went to Guitar Center earlier today and picked up my second guitar. It's a Squire Jaguar Classic Vibe 70s. I'll have to look that up. I'm not familiar with it. Sounds cool. I've got big plans for it. Nice. I want to make it my own. Swap out a single coil for a humbucker and a couple other things. Would you ever consider buying a guitar, maybe a cheap Squire like mine, and customizing it yourself? 100%. That's what the PV is. The PV is an absolute zombie Frankenstein guitar that I have just modded the shit out of. It's got CTS pots and switch. It's got a Seymour Duncan up top. It's got StewMac, and a couple of videos back, I talked about how the single coil and the double rail StewMac kind of like in-house brand I bought. I can't say that I'm super enthused. Nothing against them. I think they're just more of an economy kind of a pickup. I actually took out a DiMarzio that was very similar, double rail DiMarzio at the bottom, and replaced it with the StewMac. The DiMarzio honestly sounded better. I hate to dunk on the StewMac, but it just sounds better. So I'm huge, and I'm a huge tinker. I'm very mechanical. So, and I love doing this kind of stuff. So absolutely. I'll get into what guitar that I locked onto last night here in a moment. I stumbled across a brand called ESP guitars. Never heard of that before, but they look pretty cool. We'll get into what I stumbled across. Swap out a single coil for a couple of things. Definitely. I definitely would consider that. I know you're a craftsman, so maybe you could even start from scratch and make your own guitar body. That'd be an interesting little project. Could be a fun little mini-series you could do. Oh, shit! Good idea. Either way, keep it up. Nice, thanks, brother. That's actually a really good idea. I never thought about that. You can see the shop and what I do every day back in the old J. Wills in real life. At Anthony Bullock 1968, I'm in. Oh, well, welcome, brother. That's a new person I'm not familiar in the comments. At Roger Tinker 1813, best intro yet. Woo! Hey, awesome. Yesterday's intro. Tonight, a little rough. Ain't gonna lie. But warm-ups, all of you new guitars players out there, that's what a warm-up will do. I warmed up last night. I didn't warm up tonight. Even though last night I had a couple little things in it, tonight I'm fresh off the truck, just bam, truck, unload in here, check the cats, bam, over here, and sit down and hit the vid. So, yeah, warm-ups are a big deal. Even in the morning, once I go through an entire fret sequence, 10 times better, seriously. At Roger Tinker 1813, hey, play that A chord with your index finger. That's what I stumbled across this morning. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to angle it and fret that bitch. And it worked. So it's cool. And then, hell, you guys know me for the most part. I hammer the shit out of those strings. I was like, well, if I hit a dead string hard enough, it's got to make some kind of noise. And if it's not cool, well, we'll work it out. At Ricky Ramos 87. All right, a new guy. Hey, what's up, brother? Does it feel weird being an oversized human playing a regular-sized guitar? Yes, it does. And having humongous 3XL hands. My hand across here is over 5 inches wide. Bring a tape measure out for your hands next time you're fiddle-diddling. And run a tape and see if you got a over 5-inch wide hand. I feel like you need a 6-string bass to see how it feels to be a regular person playing guitar. I need like a custom guitar that's got like a wide neck. I don't know, I'm just playing around. But yes, it is kind of weird. I do struggle with that a lot, in all seriousness. It's something that's I'm working on. But I feel it's getting better. It's just a matter of just kind of angling, tilting, rotating, shit like that, you know. At Sick9457, when you're doing your little Guitar Center run, have a look and play some Evertunes. I will. Make sure you look at the used pedals for any potential steals. Didn't know they had used pedals or even used gear there. Good to know. And definitely, I looked on the Evertune website. I dig that system. I think that's something I'm going to look into. Hopefully they have it. I mean, I'm here in the Bay Area, so there's only a handful of Guitar Centers. I happen to live right next to one, which is dangerous. And last one, at Mountain Dew 10212. Love the energy. Good stuff. Well, rock on, brother. Thanks for that comment. It's a lot of fun, for sure. All right, make sure you didn't miss anyone. All right, we're good. So, oh, hold on. Make sure, no, well done. It's 2000. A response to another person, a well done fret dressing. This is at Rock RXO, a well done fret dressing, upgrading to a bone or Graphtec nut. These are all interesting little points. And getting a proper setup will make it play a lot better than when you bought it. New pickups can also make it sound less cheap, but the main difference in a Squire and a Fender is how nice they feel to play. Interesting. At Nicky Rock 1962, he is totally going to bring home a new guitar this weekend, and I can't wait to find out which one it is. Will it be a BC Rich? I don't know what that is. Maybe a Les Paul. Probably not a Les Paul, but I'm about to tell you what it might be. That I stumbled, if they have it even in stock. Or a 12-string acoustic. Definitely not going to add any more goddamn strings, not at this stage. The anticipation mount. So, all right, with that, I stumbled across ESP guitars. We're going to play a little jam real quick. You know what? We just got to get the old PV out, because the PV is kind of like the bread and butter of like my epic sentimental-ish. Yes, and we'll talk about, probably wonder like, what's that guy, and what's that? Yeah, we'll get into that in a later video. But for now, we're going to fiddle a little and jam on the PV, because I can drop that shit down. We'll run through a little bit, and then I'll talk about the guitar that I want to get, or that I stumbled across. I don't know, you guys let me know. If it's a decent guitar, I don't even know the brand. It just, I don't know, it looks cool. There's one that has this like flame split transparent fucking tie. It's badass, and it's totally speaking to me. And if they have it, it'll probably come on with me. But first, let's drop D. Let's have a little bit of fun. The PV, right? I don't know, just fucking around, having fun. So, ESP makes a guitar called the Phoenix 1000. Oh, you know what? I gotta make sure my goddamn phone's still recording. Ugh, here we go. Oh, yeah, we're good. Super solid. So, ESP, I don't know, are they good guitars? Are they shit guitars? I don't know, I have no idea. It looks cool. They're not cheap. That Phoenix 1000 is like, I don't know, it's like north of $1,000. So it's like, oof. It should be. It seems cool. It's beautiful. There's one that has like a black, oh, it's gorgeous. And then the used pedal, I'm gonna have to, you know what, when I went in there, I was just in there for one thing. I was like 7-string, hyper focus, did that. So I didn't really even cruise around. I didn't really know Guitar Center had used gear. I stumbled across just this week online. It's a Reverb, or maybe it's a link to, I don't know. Anyway, they have used guitar stuff, or used guitar, all kinds of accoutrement and whatnot. That looked cool. So ultimately, really, I'm gonna go to Guitar Center and just play around. Also on the pedal thing, whoa. Okay, it's been over 22 years. I get it. I've been out for a bit. But that JHS Rat Pack, or Pack Rat, is it Rat Pack, whatever. I was like north of $250. That Deluxe Memory Man, also $250. Not counting tax and shipping and all that shit. Pedals have gotten stupid expensive since I was fiddling around with all my Boss pedals back in the, early like '01, '02. That's 2001, 2002. Man, so if they have used pedals, I'm all about that. Hell, I bought 2 guitars off Craigslist. Shit, I have no problem with the used equipment as long as it sounds cool and just makes music. So, so this morning, get a little into the more of the constructive guitar practice side of things. I think it was yesterday or the day before, I talked about pressure, right? On just using the least amount of pressure possible. This morning, I have a pinky problem. And so I decided to challenge myself and go as slow as I absolutely needed and not let my pinky move more than, my goal was 3/8 of an inch. Realistically, 1/4 of an inch would be better, but 1/4, 3/8 of an inch, basically. I was like 1/2 inch maximum, no 5/16 bullshit, anything like that. Just like 3/8 of an inch, ideally you'd be about 3/16 of an inch off that thing. Anyway, so that is hard as shit if you haven't tried it. However, after, I'm not kidding, 30 minutes of just mind, and it will make you, if you never got into the flow state or so hyper focused on something, that'll do it. I don't know if it's frustration or just the fact that I'm like, don't move. That struggle's real. Anywho, it took me about 30 minutes, and I found this is, if you're a beginner, don't try to do it up here, and sure as fuck don't try to do it down here. You gotta do it in the middle, right? So the 5/7 action here, but it took me about almost 30 minutes, but I was able to get where I could do a spider drill of all of my, see, it still wants to, stop. Pull up and walking it down ever so slowly and trying, my goal initially, I was having a hard time with even 1/2 an inch. So I'm like, all right, 1/2 an inch is fine. And finally, after 30 minutes, I was able to walk this up. I'm kind of doing it now where I'm not pulling it off. That is incredibly challenging. However, I can see how useful it is. And then I started paying attention to a couple of these shredders, like Tim Henson. He had a little YouTube short. I may start doing some YouTube shorts. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not familiar with how to really make those things. But I noticed that his fingertips just hovered across. I'd like to be able to download that part of that dude's brain. I'm like, how do you keep your pinky from just not just wanting to just wave out in the wind? I don't know, it's crazy. Anywho, so give that a try. That struggle is real. So I'm gonna keep the PV tonight. The issue that I have with the PV, I have never messed with the truss rod, and these strings are like light years away from the fretboard. Whoa, like a lot. But it sounds great. It's an awesome guitar. But let's go through some chord. It's Friday night. Yeah, it's practice. Gotta do the hard stuff. So we're gonna tune this back up, begrudgingly, and do a little bit of chord work and stick with A, D, and E, but see if we can make them sound better. This morning they sounded okay. I'm doing chord work in the morning, but that struggle is totally real. But tomorrow at Guitar Center, I think I'm going to, I swear, if they have a Phoenix 1000 that's in that same color and it sounds cool, it has to sound cool. I don't honestly care if it's a $200 guitar and it just shreds. Well, when I say shred, that's my version of shredding, right? I don't care. If it sounds cool, I'll buy it. It's fine. If it's $200, I don't want to spend more than $1,000, maybe $1,500, because I understand that equipment is important. However, we're not even a month in. This is day 27. I don't want to get, to my guitar acquisition syndrome, which I totally admit to having, but you have to get some gear. I had no amps, no speakers, nothing to practice through. The only thing that survived and that wasn't up in the attic was my bass little custom. This thing was like $90 off Amazon. It's super cheap, but it allows my drum machine to do what it needs. The bass guitars sound so okay, but all my Fender Squier, my Fender Frontman 15 amp, my Crate amp, those 3 amps were up in the attic, totally fried. They're all fucked. So I had nothing to really play. So I was like, well, we're at this stage of my life. Let's buy some equipment. So been in that rabbit hole. I mean, I'm not going to come home with another amp or anything like that, but definitely pedals and most definitely a guitar because I want a slightly different guitar, and I'm going to pay it. Thank you for the comment about the neck width. That's something I haven't paid attention to. What's interesting, I haven't pulled the tape measure out. However, I was yapping on a couple of videos ago about my Ibanez, that 335 clone. I think it's called an Art Star. Anywho, the nut on that, I think, or the fretboard on that, I suspect is probably a little bit wider. I don't know, but it just feels better. So anyway, we're gonna go through. Let's see. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Oops. Oh. Yep. There's nothing. Can't edit that out. All right. Boop. We're gonna go back to clean, all the way to clean. Kind of getting used to where these settings are. That's at Seymour Duncan. I'm telling you, it just changes the way the guitar sounds. It does sound nice. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, got a cat bombing. What's up, Cricketto? Okay. E, A, D, and E. We're gonna come back to those because we have not mastered those. Oh, also, totally random. A few videos back, actually quite a few videos back, someone was talking about pick thickness. This JHS pick came with that wrap pack, and it's super thick. It's got a little, I don't know, a little traction on it, a little texture on it. This is a nice, cool pick. I also stumbled across another random box of shit that I found at my spare bedroom, aka abandoned life things. A metal pick. I love this thing. It has the craziest sound. And when you play with a bunch of gain, it adds this kind of, I hesitate to say industrial. I don't know, it's kind of cool. But anyway, we're not going to play around with that. We're going to get on to these chords. So E, that is not an E. Yeah, it is. It sounds so odd. This E, like for me, this is E to me. I don't know why this sounds so weird. Maybe I'm just picking it. I'm just fretting it wrong. But if I do this though, per one of the recommendations, oh fuck, now it's actually working. It wasn't working this morning. That's crazy town. All right, well, that works now. It's not very clean though. If I use 2 fingers, I can kind of nail it sometimes. It's not a bad sounding guitar, you gotta admit. Struggle's real. But that was the part that I added for the intro. Actually, no, the second part of the intro. I added that A in, and it sounded decent. Something like that. So yeah, the chords coming along, hitting those in the morning. I don't know what this transition is, but it seems to me to work the best. Oof, that's rough. I applaud all of you who are able to just, I've watched these guys go from this C. This is the biggest challenge. This is why I abandoned chords back 20 plus years ago, actually like 25 years ago. The C, I couldn't ever, when I saw the tab, I saw the chord configuration, I was like, wait a sec. You got to go from here to here to here, and do that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a... What? My brain's just like... So yeah, that struggle is real. But they sound cool when you get them. My goodness. That's why we're here. That has I know I'm not moving my bottom finger because it's stuck and it's covering, it's working. It'll come along. Those chords are ball busters, hands down. got to be getting close to 30, so, you know, the dealio. The new outro, we're going to drop this thing down, of course, and play around with a little new outro other than my usual Metallica butchering. Something like that. All right. Day 27 of 365 days of guitar practice in the bag. Even after a long-ass day, we're going to Guitar Center tomorrow. For all of you who are possibly still hanging out, and I haven't melted your ears off, we will have a surprise for tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to come back with yet, but it's going to be something. So, I think that's all. Peace. See you tomorrow.